Hey everyone, I've received a lot of questions about my racket setup, so today I want to share my specs and how I customize my rackets. For the past 2 years, I've been using the Wilson V8 16x19. However, during this time, something about that racket just didn't feel quite right. I think I was too used to my old racket from my pro days, the Head Prestige Tour. So I made a decision a couple months ago to switch back, and at the moment I couldn't be happier. This head racket is 95 square inches and it's a 16x19 string pattern. It's not widely used among pros, but I think it really suits my game. With this being said, even though I use this racket, it doesn't mean it'll be good for you. Try to find a racket that you enjoy playing with and one that complements your game. Before I dive into the specs, I want to shout out my friend at Restrung Tennis who customizes my rackets. This is not sponsored. I genuinely think that he does a great job. He's an anesthesiologist, so attention to detail is his thing, and I really think that he enjoys this whole process. He'll tailor your specs to as close as possible. He'll string your rackets and stencil them, and he'll even package them in a plastic bag like the pros. One super cool feature that he did with my rackets is he customized the butt caps. I don't know if you can see here, but he put the Changbang logo on them, which I think is super cool. I've learned a lot from him, so if you're interested in any of this, feel free to send him a DM on Instagram, and I'll have the link in the description below. Now onto my specs. I use Solinco Hyper G strings at 52 pounds. If the weather is really hot or really dry, I'll string it a little tighter at 53 or 54 pounds. I use the regular Hyper G instead of the soft or the rough because this is just what I'm used to, and Solinco over the years has been amazing to me. For the grip, I opt for a leather grip that's underneath this overgrip because since the leather grip is thinner, it'll make the grip slightly smaller, and I think that's better for my hand. At the same time, a leather grip will enhance the feel or like the edges of the grooves of the handle. So I like that a lot. I feel like I can feel it a little better. Just keep in mind that a leather grip will make the racket a little heavier. I also use a shock absorber with this racket that I currently don't have one right now, but I use a shock absorber. And here are my specs of an unstrung racket with a leather grip. The racket is 327 pounds, the balance is 30.8 centimeters, and the swing weight is 298. I didn't come up with these numbers or choose these numbers, by the way. I had one racket that I really liked, and I asked Restrung Tennis to match them all with that one. And this leads me to my next point. Why should you customize a racket? It's not to have a racket like the pros. It's not to have a super heavy racket that you can tell everyone that your racket's 400 grams or whatever. The main reason is to have all your rackets feel the same. Let me share a story. All through juniors and through college and pros, I never really thought about customizing my equipment. I was more a pick up a racket and play type of guy. But I had one match that completely changed this mindset. I had just played really well against Jensen Brooksby, and for the following match, I decided to use a different racket with new strings. And this is something I like to do because, I don't know, I just like the new strings. I feel like it grabs the ball better. So I'm playing the #1 college tennis player at the time, and with this new racket, I feel every ball is just sailing out. I'm missing a lot of shots that I wasn't supposed to miss. And so I ended up losing the first set 6-0, and I'm like, okay, let me change to the racket I played with Jensen Brooksby, and I ended up winning a set, but losing in 3 sets. This could have been all mental, but I like to think a part of it, or most of it, had to do with the racket. So from then on, I made sure all my rackets were pretty similar in terms of weight and balance and everything like that. When you customize your rackets identically, there's less doubt about the equipment. Plus, since I spent extra money and extra time, I rarely ever throw my racket or break my racket. But to be fair, I never really did that anyways. Hope this video gives you some insight into tennis equipment. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. I'll reply to them as best as I can. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And currently, I've been playing some of the best tennis I've ever played. So I'll be posting some tutorials out, and I'll also be doing more skits this summer. So make sure you're subscribed. Thank you guys for watching, and see y'all in the next one.